Hi planner friends, it's Nia. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome for the first time. Today I am recapping the budget for July 2020. Share a few little things. One, I'm using my phone. I'm cheating. I'm not using the camera. Two, I am paid once a month. So today is July 30th. It's not quite the end of the month, but from my primary employment, I'm paid one time a month. Technically, I'm paid on the first of the month, but we get our check a little bit sooner than that. So I'm closing out July. So what I have here is my cash envelopes. I have my Petite planner. This is the monthly Petite planner. And then I have the monthly planner. These are Erin Condren products. So these mirror each other for the most part. I can get a little bit more in here because there's more space. This one goes with me everywhere, and this is typically what I show on film. So we're going to look at July 2020, and I'm going to look at all of my wonderful notes for reference. The first thing I want to go through is the goals for July. So the first goal was $1,000 in sales on Etsy. And like I said, today is the 30th. But I went ahead and tallied everything up anyway. There's only one day left. So I don't expect it to change drastically. So my total Etsy sales were $707.18. And I have shared before that Etsy takes out an exorbitant amount of fees. So my fees were $187.65. The total dollar amount that I had for deposits was $852.54. And so some of that was from the previous month. Now I'm still fairly new to Etsy. For your first 90 days, they hold your money for a week, and then they deduct all kinds of stuff from it before they actually give it to you, if they give you anything. So yes, I'm throwing shade right now. So yeah, 707 in sales, 187 in fees, 852 in deposits. So that's Etsy. So I didn't quite meet my goal of 1,000 in sales, but I came relatively close. The next goal was to use cash envelopes, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. I did hit that goal. I was really good about using my cash envelopes this month. The next goal was to stay on budget. Yeah, that didn't happen because you're going to see I spent a whole lot on planner stuff. Yeah, no, it didn't happen. So next, camera. The next thing is camera. I got my camera. I'm not using it right now. I'm using my phone. I'm struggling with the camera a little bit. I don't know if I'm struggling with the camera or if I'm struggling with lighting, but there's a struggle in it. So I don't want to record some of what I feel is the most important videos for the month, which are the budget, the new budget, the budget recap, and some other things until I'm really feeling solid and good about it. Plan with me, not so much worried about, but so I did get the camera though, so that's taken care of. That's off my list, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. Next goal was to repair the closet. It is repaired. However, I need to have two things adjusted before I can actually start hanging some stuff back in there to have it reinforced. And so it's not completely done. I'd say it's about 85% done. Hopefully the rest of it will be completed this weekend. The next thing was to sell on either Mercari or Poshmark. I have a ton of clothes that I need to sell. I have not done that. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Saturday. And then the last goal was to pay off a credit card. I paid off the credit card and then I spent on the credit card. So I don't know what you would call that. Not exactly a fail, because I did the thing, but not exactly a win either. My savings goals, I actually exceeded, and we'll talk about those when we talk about sinking funds. So typically, I share with you all that I pay all the bills up front just about at the beginning of the month because I am paid one time a month. So in speaking about expenses, the fixed expenses, the normal bills were all paid and taken care of basically at the beginning of the month. Let's look at those expenses. So everything is not here. These are just the primary fixed expenses. So we have housing for this month. It does fluctuate a little bit every month because of utilities. It was $18.61 and 68 cents. SMUD, which is another utility, it is my electricity, was I budgeted $200, it was $150. PG&E, which is my gas, I budgeted $20, it was $20. Insurance for my car and home was $153.79, so that was the same. My Sprint, which is my telephone, I budgeted $100. It's actually $125 or $150, I can't remember, but I paid $200 this month. I was trying to get a little bit ahead on it. Dish, satellite, budgeted $90, it was $85.27. CarMax was $5.25. Barclay $25. The IRS $125. Nationwide was $116.74. Kohl's was $80. I have a loan for $97.55. PayPal, I budgeted $40, it was $39. Ashley, no payment. Discover was no payment because it was paid off. Quicksilver, $25, and I paid $25. Microsoft, $6.99. Silhouette Software, $7.99. Simply Gilded subscription box, $36.75. Parking, this was a new item for me. So where I work, we don't have parking. And I had been taking the light rail, which is a train, up until March when COVID happened. And so now I have been driving every day, and the driving has been, well, not the driving, the parking has been free for essential workers. Well, that was supposed to go away on the July 15th, and I finally, after 8 years, won a lottery spot, which is not free. The spot that I selected, which is really far away, I didn't realize how far it was going to be, is $70 a month. So I paid $56 prorated for July, and then I would say about 4 days after I did it, they extended the free parking. So I'm back in the free spot just because it's closer, but I'm still paying. The going forward, it's $70 a month, and it automatically comes out of my paycheck. So that's that. Navy Federal, budgeted $145, it was $145. Overstock, budgeted $35, it was $35, and I had $470 in my cash envelopes for July. My income, my primary income was $45.69. I've told you all that I'm expecting a pay cut. I did have a pay cut. We'll talk about that in my August budget video. It did not go into effect until July 1st, and so I was paid today for July, the month of July, for the work I did in July. I anticipated $2,000 in additional income for a total of $65.69, and I have stuff written in the wrong spot. So my total income ended up being $82.60 for the month of July, and that was because I got a couple things I wasn't expecting. I got an overtime payment. I don't make overtime. I'm FSLA exempt, so typically I don't, but because of this pandemic, I'm getting something extra. So I wasn't expecting that to come in until later. That was $12.50. I'm sorry. I thought it would be $12.50. It was $1,338. And then the other thing that I received that I just wasn't expecting at all was the SBA EIDL grant. So that was $1,000. So the two of those things plus my Etsy deposits, not sales, deposits, came in. And then I also received a $500 refund from Carnival Cruise. So that brought $82.60 in this month. So I had about little under 2,000 more than what I thought I was going to receive. So let's talk about sinking funds before we talk about cash envelopes, because I had that additional extra money come in, I put a big chunk of it towards savings. So I had planned to deposit $25 into my emergency fund. I deposited the $25 plus an additional $4.50, bringing that total to $1,005.20. For my car fund, I plan to deposit $50, and that was what I deposited, for a total now of $308.37. No deposit was made into my health/taxes account. I had $10 that I put into my camera cash envelope, and that what that is $5 bills. And so that brought it to $100. And I took that $100 and deposited it into my bank account after I bought my camera. So the $100 went towards the camera like I planned. And if you've seen my mid-month review, I talked about how I was sort of hemming and hawing about whether or not I wanted to put that $100 in, and I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I put it in the account and I put it towards the camera like I was supposed to. Sometimes it takes me a minute, y'all. Okay, so then my vacation fund, I did not plan to deposit anything, and I didn't, and so that was $25. Going back to the camera, there will be additional $5 bills in these cash envelopes, and we'll see what our new total is for the now Christmas fund. So since we've gotten the camera, we'll go back to it being a Christmas envelope. And then I have a fund for the home, and it's specifically going towards a dresser to finish out my bedroom set. I had planned to deposit $50. I deposited the $50, plus I deposited an extra $175. And I did not total that up. I also had, when I went to the bank, I deposited change, and the change was $10.60. So for this account, we have we started with $51.43. We deposited $50. We deposited $175, and we deposited $10.60. So the total for this is $287.03. Okay. Now, let's get into the cash envelopes. So for cash envelopes, my Christmas fund has a $5 bill in here, and I had people give me money for a couple of different things. One, I usually am the person that goes and buys the paper plates and napkins and that type of stuff for work. And then one of our peer coworkers had a death in their family, and so everyone was giving me cash and Venmoing me for a plant and a meal for the person. And so when I got cash in fives, I set those aside and just used my own money to replace it. So those are in here now as well. So there's $20 in here. Going through my cash envelopes, we'll start with pet because it's on top. I had budgeted $10, and when I say budgeted, for July, set aside $10 for my pet envelope. I already had $10 in my pet envelope, and so I had a grand total of $20. I spent $14 and change on dog food, and that left me with $6 in my pet envelope. So I'm going to take that $5 bill and put it into the Christmas envelope, and I'm going to, because I plan to go through this on my August budget setup. I'm still trying to figure out the best method to do this, so bear with me. So I'm going to actually leave it in here, but I'm going to take out the $5 bill, and so we'll just say payment 5 because it's a $5 bill. And then that leaves me with $1 in my pet envelope. Okay, so I'm going to I guess I will say this is not really how I want this to reflect on here. What did I do last month? I didn't in there. Let's see. For June. Okay, so I put it over here in the margin. So I have $1 left in my pet envelope. And like I said, I'm putting everything back in here because I'm gonna, when I restuff them, I will take everything out. So that is that. Then my fun envelope, I did not spend anything because we can't have fun because Cousin Roro is still here. So I still have $30 in my fun envelope. So that's that. My beauty envelope, I have $20 and I did not spend anything, so I still have 20. My clothing envelope, I have $40 and I did not spend anything, so I still have $40 in this envelope. Okay, so those are the easy ones. My gas envelope, I had $100 that I budgeted. I spent $80, and so I have $20 left. And what you will see when I set up my August budget is I adjusted the amount for August to account for that. My household envelope, I just have a $5 bill yet left. I budgeted 50, I spent 45, and so I have a $5 bill left, but because it is a $5 bill, I am going to remove that and have 0 for my household left. Okay, and so that is a second $5 bill that is going to go into my Christmas envelope. Then my dining out envelope. So for the month of July, I gave myself $70 because in June, I think I gave myself 50 and I blew through it. So I have a $5 bill, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have $23, but only 18 will stay in the envelope because the $5 bill is going to come out. So I'll put that 5 here, and we'll put $5, and we have 18 left. Okay, so that's gonna go back in here. And then my last envelope is groceries, and I gave myself $200 for groceries. And in here I have 2 5s. So we'll take those out in a second. And then I have 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. So I have $54 left, but I'm taking out the 2 5s, so that will give me $44 left in my grocery envelope. Now, I will add, I also adjusted on this for, sorry, I can't do 2 things at once. I adjusted on groceries down down because I had $44 left over for August. But I also spent $159 at the butcher, and I got quite a bit for $159. It's just me, so as an example, I have like 6 pounds of ground beef, 6 pounds of chicken, 6 pounds of pork, 2 pounds of bacon, 5 pounds of ribeye, 5 pounds of New York steak, and some other stuff I can't remember. So I'm going to start a new cash envelope for butcher. I don't think I will spend that much next time because I don't have room for that much meat. I have half of it stored somewhere else, and I'm not even comfortable with that. So I definitely recommend using the butcher because it saves a lot of money and I can get a bulk amount, but I got way too much for myself. So I'm going to start a new cash envelope for that, and that also impacts my grocery envelope because I don't really need to buy meat because I have enough meat for a while. And I'm thinking I will buy quarterly. So I'm going to set aside maybe like $40 a month for the butcher. So that is that. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about? So I've talked about income, I've talked about expenses, I've talked about cash envelopes, I've talked about sinking funds. Let's talk about business income real quick. So, all of this stuff that I've listed as business income, this is planner crap. Let's just keep it real. This is planner stuff. No, it's not all planner stuff, but 99% of it is. So I purchased like label paper. I should be really good on label paper for a while. I wanted to try out some new label paper. I'm sorry, it's not label paper. It's sticker paper. I wanted to try out some new sticker paper. It's amazing. And so then I bought some more because it was on sale. So I got some additional mats and blades for my silhouette. I bought some new backdrops. And then, you know, when I got the camera, I bought SD cards and SD card readers and all these different things. Some of that stuff I returned because it wasn't working the way that I expected it to. I bought like all these extra batteries that I need, so I returned those. I returned one of the SD card readers. Yeah. So then, and I got a light box, and I'm really not sure I'm going to keep the light box because it's not working the way I thought it would, but we'll see. I'm going to keep playing with it. Then, like halfway down, it's not really business expenses anymore, but I grouped it under business expenses. It's planner stuff. So I want to try an A5 and I want to try a personal size planner. So I bought all the stuff from like Cloth and Paper, Poi and Hun, Brooklyn Grace, Lux Plans, Infinite Lotus, Amazon, Cloth and Paper. Did I say Cloth and Paper? Cloth and Paper. Then I spent like $318 for the Simply Gilded pre-sale. That won't even come until October. So all in all, it's about $2,100. I'm going to find a way to write it all off. I would say that I'm going to go on a no spend for August, but that would be a bold-faced lie. I am going to definitely, though, tone it down and not buy a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm signed up for the Simply Gilded sub box, like always. I've been doing that since I think November of last year. And I'm signed up now for the Cloth and Paper sub box. I have 4 orders that I'm still waiting for Cloth and Paper, and I'm still waiting for my Infinite Lotus order. So, and my Poi and Hun order. So I think that once I have all those things, that will be more than enough to play with and figure out if I like it or not. The only thing I don't have is an actual A5. Well, that's not true. Okay, so I don't have a nice, fancy A5 agenda or personal agenda. Coming soon, though, will be a video on a faux luxury agenda. That's all I'm going to say. A little teaser for you there. I did buy some really, really inexpensive agendas on Amazon. They were like $10 each, maybe 12, but really inexpensive. So I got 2 to try it out and see if I liked it. And then I bought a personal size agenda on Amazon as well. So these are all ring bound 6-ring planners, so that I can try it and see if I like it, because I don't want to spend $100 on an agenda and then sit it down somewhere and be like, I don't like this, because I really do like the Petite planners. But I'm always interested in trying new things and trying out something different, so there's that. So business expenses were a little out of control for the month of July, but we're going to hone it in August, and we're going to do better. We're also going to do better on writing things down. Did not quite do that in this bigger planner. I didn't do it for Debt Tracker here, but I did write down, and this is most of the same stuff that's written in the business expenses, because those were the things that I was spending money on. So technically this is this. And I will go back in and fill in the cash envelopes and the sinking funds on here, but they are filled in on here. And so that's what I go through with you all just now on the video. So that's it. So that is my month of July. That's my budget recap. I'm still trying to work on this planner and my layout. So I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with the dashboard page yet. This is a printable from Shea Budgets on Etsy. And this just gives me like an overview of my to-dos, my goals, and my fixed budget. And I've already made one for August as well. So that is that. So thank you for joining me. Hopefully you got some budget ideas from this video, some ideas on cash envelopes. I also do have cash envelopes in my Etsy store, which is Studio Bliss Co. And I appreciate you being here. It helps keep me accountable as I am on this budgeting journey. I won't say quite debt-free journey yet, because I'm the girl who pays off the credit card and then goes and buys something else on the credit card. So there's that. We'll see. We'll get better with time. It's a journey. It's a process. There's ups and downs. There's hills and valleys. Every day is different, and we do the best we can with what we have. I'm really proud of myself for saving the amount that I saved this month, which was a huge accomplishment for me. So I'm going to take my small wins where I can. Thank you for joining me today. I will see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.